question is, can you print a test page? And we're actually going to show you how to print a test page from both a PC and Mac right now. To send a test print from a Windows PC, click Start in the lower left corner. This should pop up menu where you can select Printers and Faxes. If you don't see Printers and Faxes on the first menu, select Settings or Control Panels, then Printers and Faxes. Once you do this, a list of installed printers will appear. Left mouse single click to select the printer to test. Then use the right mouse button to click it. Select Properties off of the menu. Be sure the General tab is selected along the top. Then click the Print Test Page button and a file will be sent to the printer. To send a test print from a Mac OS X computer, look in the upper left corner of your Mac. Click on the black apple, then scroll down to System Preferences. Pick Print and Fax from the control panel. Look at the list of printers, scroll down to the printer that you want to send a test print from, then click Open Print Queue. From the printer menu, you'll notice there's a Print Test Page button. Select that and a print will be set to the printer. So if you can print a test page from the PC, then the PC and the printer are talking, and we need to look at what you're printing. If the printer lights flash when you try to print a test page but nothing comes out, you may be using the wrong printer driver or the wrong printer language for the particular printer device you have. If I try to print a PCL job to a Canon that only supports UFR2 as a print language, the Canon will flash when it receives the job, but then it flushes it because it doesn't understand that particular print language. If on the other hand the printer starts spitting out pages and pages of what looks like garbage, then it's probably because I used a PostScript driver to a printer that does not understand PostScript. So it prints it out the longhand of all those commands in PostScript. You can often print out a report from your printer or from your MFD that'll tell you what print languages it supports.
Let me ask you another question. Can you print from another application? I know you've been trying to print a particular document. Maybe it's a Microsoft Word document and you're trying to print it and it's not printing. Try printing from either Internet Explorer or Adobe Acrobat or some other application so that you can see if that application prints okay. If the application prints okay and just the Microsoft Word one doesn't, then we have to look at either the Microsoft Word or we have to look at the file.
So the next question is, can you print a different file from the same application? If you've been trying to print one document, try closing that document and opening up a different one, or create a new one by typing the word test, say, in a text file or in a Word file. Will that print? If it prints the new document, then you have a file issue with the old document. If not, then the application is still suspect in that case. If you suspect your application, try checking for updates. We've seen this fix a number of Acrobat Reader printing issues in particular. And we'll show you how to check for updates right now. We got a clip for that. This process shows how to update Adobe Acrobat. From the Help menu, select on Check for Updates. If there are any available, the Adobe program will go out to the web and find them for you. Click Yes to download. You may be prompted to input your password, at least on the Macintosh. The install will begin. Once it's completed, your application will let you know. You can restart the application and begin using the updated version. The next question you want to ask is, if the new document printed okay, but you still need to print the original document that won't print, we can now start troubleshooting the document to see if there's a problem with a particular page or even with a particular element on a page within that document. If your job is a multi-page document, try printing a range of pages, like pages 1 through 5 or pages 10 through 15. You may find that the whole document will print if you break it up into smaller pieces. This could indicate that your printer needs more memory, or maybe you're low on hard drive space either on your printer or on the print server. If only certain page ranges will print, like pages 10 through 15 print okay, but pages 1 through 5 do not, then there's an element in one of the pages that doesn't print that's causing you trouble. Try printing each of those pages individually, page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, etc. If only page 3 doesn't print, well then you know to look on page 3. you can start to remove certain elements like logos, graphics, vector artwork, and so forth, and see if it prints without those elements in the file itself. I've recently heard of a person that took an 11 by 17 image and they shrunk it down to a logo size element on the page. So now they have this huge file that's going to cause a logjam trying to get it to come out of the printer. You can also try to recreate the page and replace it in your document. But first, make sure that the page you recreate prints by itself before you insert it back into that whole job or document. It's best if you don't use the exact same elements that were in the first page that didn't print properly.
That's true. If the print job is just a single page and there are a lot of images and photos or graphics on there, on that single page, you can try removing some of those images and seeing if that prints. If you remove an element like an image or a graph and it prints, you know that you found the issue and you may have to work with that particular element. You can try resizing it. Oftentimes we find that people will scan images at very high resolution, maybe 2400 by 2400 dpi, and then they'll print them out to a copier or a printer that only does 600 by 600 dpi. Really, you're not going to see any great value.
It's kind of overkill.
It really is. It really is. So you can shrink that down. Most printers will do like a 300 by 300 dpi image. Get it in the right size. That'll make a lot of difference when you try to print. If there are a lot of different fonts on the page, you can try simplifying it. Maybe using Wingding fonts or maybe Japanese or Korean fonts. Sometimes fonts will be corrupted even. You might have a font you've used before, but this particular time it's corrupted. Try changing it to a different font. Maybe Times New Roman or Courier or even Arial. Something very simple, very basic. Most printers will even have substitute fonts for them built into the printer. If you do this as a test, I know maybe you don't want to print a document that way, but if you do it as a test and it works, then you figured out that you have a font issue. In this video, we looked at what you can do if you can't print to a network printer or a multifunctional copier. We gave you a number of tests that you can perform that will tell you whether the problem lies with your network, with your PC, with your application, with your file, or even an element within the file. Now I recommend that you replay the video, but pause it so you can try each of these tests. See where it leads you. You should be printing in no time, or at the very least you'll have accurately identified where the problem lies. And that alone should save you time and money if you call a system engineer or a network support person. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.